When a pope passes away or steps down, the eyes of the world turn to the Vatican, where one of the most secretive and sacred traditions in history begins: the election of a new pope. This process, known as the Papal Conclave, is a ritual that combines centuries-old traditions, modern considerations, and global interest. But how exactly is a new pope chosen? Let's break it down in a way that's engaging, easy to understand, and rooted in fact. Jorge Mario Bergoglio was born on December 17, 1936, in Buenos Aires, Argentina. After studying chemistry and working briefly as a lab technician, he felt a call to the priesthood and entered the Society of Jesus in 1958. Ordained a priest in 1969, he later served as provincial superior of the Jesuits in Argentina and taught theology and philosophy. In 2001, Pope John Paul II elevated him to cardinal, and he quickly gained a reputation for humility and pastoral care, choosing to live in a simple apartment, cooking his own meals, and selling the papal limousine to benefit the poor. On March 13, 2013, following the unprecedented resignation of Pope Benedict XVI, Cardinal Bergoglio was elected the 266th Pope of the Catholic Church, taking the name Francis in honor of Saint Francis of Assisi. His papacy has been marked by historic firsts: the first Jesuit pope and the first from the Americas, and landmark initiatives such as the 2015 environmental encyclical Laudato Si', the 2016 exhortation Amoris Laetitia on family life, and synods addressing the Amazon and youth. He has championed climate action, outreach to migrants and refugees, interfaith dialogue, and greater transparency within the Vatican. A papal vacancy can occur in one of two ways: death or resignation. In the case of Pope Francis, it was death. The last pope to resign was Pope Benedict XVI in 2013, the first to do so in nearly 600 years. Once the pope dies, a series of formal procedures begins almost immediately. First, the Camerlengo, a cardinal appointed to administer the affairs of the church during the vacancy, officially confirms the pope's death. Traditionally, this included calling the pope by his baptismal name 3 times and declaring him deceased. Today, this is more ceremonial, as modern medicine can confirm death more precisely. The period between popes is called the Sede Vacante, Latin for the seat being vacant. During this time, all administrative powers of the papacy cease, and no major decisions can be made until a new pope is elected. The Camerlengo plays a crucial role here. He oversees the pope's funeral, organizes meetings with the cardinals, and prepares for the conclave. The Vatican even issues special coins and stamps during this time, marked with Sede Vacante. Who can be elected? Technically, any baptized male Catholic can be elected pope, but in practice, it's always a cardinal, a senior church official appointed by the pope. Out of the roughly 200 cardinals worldwide, only those under the age of 80 are eligible to vote. This group forms the College of Cardinals, the body responsible for electing the next pope. The word conclave comes from the Latin cum clave, meaning with a key, referencing the tradition of locking the cardinals inside the Sistine Chapel until a new pope is chosen. Before entering, the cardinals take an oath of secrecy and swear to vote according to their conscience and not under external influence. All forms of communication with the outside world are cut off. No phones, no internet, total isolation. In the voting process, each cardinal writes his vote on a paper ballot with the phrase, "Elego in summum pontificem," I elect as supreme pontiff. The ballot is folded and placed into a chalice atop a large golden plate, then tipped into a receptacle. For a valid election, a candidate must receive a 2/3 majority of the votes. Voting occurs up to 4 times a day, 2 rounds in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. After each round, the ballots are burned in a special stove. If no pope is elected, chemicals are added to the stove to produce black smoke, signaling to the world that the voting continues. When a pope is chosen, the ballots are burned alone, producing white smoke. That iconic puff from the Sistine Chapel chimney tells the world, Habemus Papam. We have a pope. When a new pope is elected, once a candidate receives the required votes, the dean of the College of Cardinals asks him 2 questions. Do you accept your canonical election as supreme pontiff? By what name shall you be called? If the chosen cardinal accepts, he immediately becomes pope and selects a papal name, a symbolic act reflecting the kind of leadership he intends to provide. He is then dressed in the white papal vestments and led to the Room of Tears, a small chamber beside the Sistine Chapel where he collects himself and prepares for his first appearance. The first appearance. Soon after, the cardinal protodeacon appears on the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica and announces to the waiting crowd, "Annuncio vobis gaudium magnum, Habemus Papam." I announce to you a great joy, we have a pope. The new pope then steps onto the balcony, greets the crowd, and offers his first Urbi et Orbi blessing to the city and the world. The election of a pope isn't just a religious event, it's a global moment. The pope is not only the spiritual leader of 1.3 billion Catholics, but also a major moral and political figure in world affairs. Pope Francis, for example, emphasized climate change, interfaith dialogue, and economic justice. The choice of his successor will reflect the Church's priorities in a rapidly changing world. Despite the solemnity, conclaves are often filled with intrigue. Political dynamics play a role, with different factions within the Church pushing for candidates who reflect their theological leanings or geographic regions. Sometimes, unexpected figures rise to the papacy. In 1978, Karol Wojtyła of Poland became Pope John Paul II, the first non-Italian pope in 455 years. Similarly, Jorge Mario Bergoglio from Argentina became Pope Francis, the first pope from the Americas and the first Jesuit pope. Once elected, the new pope begins his duties immediately. A formal inauguration mass is held, not a coronation. Popes no longer wear crowns or receive political power, as they did centuries ago. The new pope will begin meeting with world leaders, appointing new bishops and cardinals, and setting the tone for his papacy. His words and actions will ripple across global affairs, influencing everything from social justice to diplomacy. The election of a new pope is one of the most profound and symbolic events in the world. It blends ancient ritual with modern relevance, offering a moment of unity, reflection, and renewal for millions. As the world watches the smoke rise from the Sistine Chapel once again, we are reminded not just of continuity, but of the enduring power of faith, tradition, and hope in shaping the future. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe button. Until next time, remain curious.